For a look at what's happening.
An interesting thing that some of you might be interested in knowing is right now the assistant coaches for both Iowa and Iowa State are doing most of the coaching. The head coaches are sitting and doing most of the encouragement. The assistant coaches are doing most of the technical aspect of coaching. Back to you, Doug.
And he's speaking of Jay Robinson for Iowa. And he's speaking of Wes Anderson and Chris Campbell, Iowa State. Here's 142 pounds. Conrad of Iowa State against Bob Kaufman, a second Emmetsburg young man. He's in there at 142 pounds for the Hawks. Conrad's ranked 4th in the country. He's tough. Kaufman is again one of the question marks. How he does in this meet could really make a difference to the Iowa cause, because Conrad's favored, there's no doubt about it. And this, to go on with that, it's one that Iowa State feels it has to win, 142 pounds.
Both boys at this point are working some underhooks, overhooks, looking for an opening for a single, double shot.
You got your shots too, Randy.
Drag.
Let's mix it up, fellas.
Not a great deal of activity at this point. You heard the official say, let's mix it up, fellas. So he needs a little more activity out there. Sometimes the reason for seeing a lack of activity out there is that both boys respect each other's abilities to the point where they know the least little mistake is going to cost them some points.
Out of bounds. With about a minute and 11 gone. Kaufman made a shot. Conrad fought it off. Conrad likes upper body throws. He likes to work up above, but you see Kaufman here on 2-on-1 on that arm. He's got a real tight snare on the Conrad's arm. And you heard Harold Nichols, I think, say, make a music.
Well, Conrad's a pinner, too, by the way. He's a pinner. He gets a lot of falls through the course of the season.
He's one young man who had to change his style a little bit as a result of the ruling this year that you couldn't use a figure 4 ride on top.
You're hanging on, both of you. Open up, start there, go to something else.
Warning both ways.
Both boys told if the opening isn't there you're looking for, change your approach. Go to something else.
And he buries head like that. Had to bury the first 45 seconds.
Now you see Conrad trying to hoist from the top with a...
Well, Kaufman, you know, is blocking off there. He's blocking off with the head. Keeps Conrad from getting in on him. We could get a stalling call on Kaufman.
Blocking over here.
There it is.
Blocking on the head. He's called.
Blocking off.
1-0. We have 45 seconds to go in the first period.
Come on, Bobby, you gotta score.
Iowa against Iowa State. That's Kaufman on the left.
We could get another.
Walking back to the center.
He's going to have to initiate some activity, or we might get another stalling call here. He's been backing out of there. Conrad's keeping the pressure on.
You see Conrad turned to Don Miller and said, what am I going to do?
Stalemate, let's do it again.
Stalemate.
Now it's going to cost you points.
Now Kaufman came in on the leg, but it doesn't look like a very deep shot.
I don't think either boy's going to score here.
End of the period. Let's see, Iowa gets its choice here. Kaufman goes up. No, goes down.
There's Coach Nichols looking on with a great deal of interest.
Tell you, I think maybe this is one that Iowa would accept being down by 1 at the end of the period. There's the Iowa coaching staff. Jay Robinson on the left, Dan Gable on the right.
Little sit-out, stand-up attempt by Kaufman. Thwarted by Conrad, steps in with the legs. I don't know if he's got that in all the way. No, you can see underneath there that Kaufman.
That's where Conrad used to like to be, but he can't use the figure 4 anymore up there.
No, but he still uses the legs a lot, and he'll go to what's referred to as a crossbody ride many times, trying to work for some back points off of that. And of course,
he can't get his leg free on the other side, and so they're going to call it a stalemate.
I was going to say
You
that
couldn't see it from that shot.
even though he may not score off that top position with the legs, Doug, he gets riding time. And at this point, he's got 28 seconds. And, of course, Kaufman hasn't been in that top position, so he has none.
Bob Kaufman.
Emmetsburg, Iowa athlete, state champion.
Started a roll, couldn't make it. Up come the legs again for Conrad.
Trying to shake him. Kaufman stands up. We could get a potential dangerous call. There it is.
Minute 11 to go.
1-0. Conrad, ISU on top. 1 minute, 11 seconds left in the second period. Kind of a half attempt on a sit-out maneuver there by Conrad.
He got the leg in that time. He went down to the side to get it.
And he got the double.
Awful high.
Got the spread in there now. He got both legs in.
Flatten Kaufman out.
Controls those hips pretty easily with that maneuver. Negates any initial activity by Kaufman to score. Building up riding time. Got the half Nelson in. Doesn't look as though he'll do any scoring off of that here, but he's...
Now because Kaufman is in good position with his legs, he had some base behind him there.
Minute and 35 seconds riding time for Conrad at this point, so he's well out in front in that department. He's got that rear crotch lift. He's trying to get the lift, maybe score back points off of it. He releases. The fans, of course, they're kind of shouting, thinking there ought to be some stalling on the bottom, but you got to remember Conrad's dominating control on top.
A point, there's the point. That's a second penalty point, and the next time is 2. The next time is 2.
The third penalty would be a 2-point call, and the fourth time is disqualification.
Let's go, man. Let's go wander around the man. Let's wrestle.
2-0.
Third period coming up.
I tell you, anything can still happen here. It's a 2-0 match. Conrad leads, and there you see. Well, that's not Joe Gibbons, of course, who's not in the lineup tonight. Kaufman on top from Emmetsburg. He puts the legs in against Conrad.
Controls those hips. Not up maybe as high as he'd like to be. Comes down. Conrad backs into him. He may come out on it. If he gets him high, he may shake him off.
Interesting position here, isn't it? Conrad has a leg. If he could have kept the wrist, it would have been over. Now Conrad's going to come out for 2. If he can get his leg out. The question is, can he get that leg free? 2.
He's got control without question. That leg being free didn't mean a great deal there.
No.
Although right now that knee looks like it could be in some danger, potentially dangerous.
You're right. 1:09 to go. In the third period, it's 4-0 in favor of Conrad, and he has a lot of riding time as well. Now Kaufman, Bob has to keep active here because he's been penalized twice. Randy Conrad, placed last year, sat out the year before. And again, he's into the legs. And it's difficult to see, but Kaufman is trying to fight him with the hands down below.
Kaufman's trying to shake him off the top if he can. Maybe grab a head, bring him over the top.
Let's do it again.
Stalemate maneuver. Neither boy able to improve his position.
4-0. Coming up next will be Jim Heffernan against Nate Carr. Iowa and Iowa State. The score is 9 for Iowa, 2 for Iowa State. Riley and Thorne drew, and then Davis and Kerber won. Kerber a major.
Kaufman stood up, put the hands, turned in. Nice stand-up escape. Well executed. Score stands 4-1. Conrad out in front.
Conrad of Iowa State in the red. And the Hawks, Bob Kaufman in the black. See the score up there in the background. 4-1. At Hilton Coliseum. Now we're going back to the center with 24 seconds left in the match. Conrad really leads by 4 because riding time he will win no matter what. He will take that point.
Yes, he's built up a lot of it. 2 minutes and 27 seconds worth.
Kaufman in on the leg. And it's out of bounds with 7 seconds to go. Well, you know, if something happened the way happened in the Carter-Kerber match where Jeff made a 5-point throw, that can turn it around.
It was a good 5-point move that Kerber made.
There it is, the first Iowa State victory with riding time is Conrad 5.